Alright, continuing UFC 34603 Appendix C, operational maintenance check, service list. Lighting. Lighting. Very proper operational lighting, switching lighting contactor, photo all the time, and appropriate lighting contactor is used lasting with the charge of the contact with buzzing noises. You're indicating fault contactor replaces required quarterly within the lights turned on. Observe the individual luminaires flicker lights turned on and off of the former indicated the faulty choke with the ladders indicate the faulty start of the plate for the faulty the components as required quarterly. Light fixture located the hazard area for the shield intact with the hazard rating of the flexion of the fixture is maintained quarterly. Lighting thoroughly clean, dusted, maximum debris with the luminary light. All of the agents might be used and frequencies annually just area of the luminaries must be required cleaning at shorting intervals. Alright, lighting, lamping, lights turn on the off of the replace of the lamp in order to prevent accidental turning on of the light with the mandatory switch of the off and lock of the breaker with the lighting circuit. Ensure the replacement lamps are the same type as of the replacing verify the proper operation and lighting fixture of the lamp of the replacement for frequency is required electrical equipment. Inspect the outside of the equipment enclosure of the duct for the evidence of the corrosion of the vacuum clean with the duct and the unobstructed uninterrupted air circulation annually. Electronic equipment open in the enclosure of the vacuum clean with the dust for the unobstructed air circulation. Pay particular attention to the fan of the air passage of the evidence of the corrosion. Verify that there's no water damage to printed circuit boards, bonds, contact with the water, humidity damage observed with the electrical components may not be working properly. Further tests is required. Verify the proper operation of the space on the heater is open and installed. With annually check with the fan of the proper operation and rotation. Annually look at the time of the overheating of the discolorization trying annually and replace the air filters annually. Verify the connection of the tight slightly pulled wire with the side of the terminal screw with ensure the wires are not loose. Annually have verified the circuit board is properly seated with the board locking tab of the fully engaged with no unplug with the plug contactor. Verify the stimulator will be out of the pins. Unplug only if the connector malfunction is suspected annually. Observe the wires success for the strain, braiding, and the wear damage of the vibration replace is required annually. Cathodic protection systems 9-2. Inspect the electric fire with the corner for the UFC 350. UFC 3570 operation maintenance of the cathodic protection systems every 2 months. Inspect cathodic protection system corner for the UFC 357006 operation maintenance cathodic protection system annually. Lightning surge arresters. Lightning surge arresters designed to withstand the ultimate surge of the 50,000 amps. However, the manufacturer older surge arresters provide the maximum number of the surge events that can occur before that must be replaced. The surge arresters include the maximum number of the surge events that the spare of the arrestor must be kept on hand. Further, the surge arrestor manufacturer operation and maintenance manual particular to inspection instruction part of the inspection part overall of the cathodic protection system, and that's frequency is annually. Card and key locks. Conduct operational check for the card and key lock system. Ensure that the feature that provide with the install of the system and operation and inspection, and this is called frequency is annually. Lightning protection system. Inspect the air terminal to make sure that there's securely attached roof of the building, the canopy with the plate for the equipment. Check all the connection between the air, the terminal, the ground, and loop to give the ground route. The repair the damaged loose connection with the perform continuity check after the repairs for frequencies annually. Ground verification system. Conduct with the operational check with the ground verification system. Ensure that for each of the provided install system, the operational inspect the plate with the corrosion weakness loose enough for the plate that heavily damaged with the perform frequency is quarterly. Electronic overfill protection systems. Operational check for the overfill prevention system. Ensure that the feature provided with the installed system and the operational frequency is quarterly. Alternate POL facilitator, liquid petroleum tanks. Inspect fuel tanks or leak with the leaks occurring with the odorizing inspection. And odorizing agent of the gas should be detectable. Soap of the water solution spray on the air. The suspected leak system of the found leaks must be taken out of service monthly. Liquid petroleum tanks. Test operation when shut off valves. Ensure the fusible link with the mechanism of the properly tested in case of the fire if it has not been passed or blocked or damaged within the man. The ensure the fusible is listed. Link is not filled with debris paint with which could become the impact of the operation. For frequencies semi-annually. And your liquid petroleum tank check the chain with the tank safely valve calibrated if required every 5 years. Liquid petroleum pipelines. Conduct visual inspection pipeline potential damage to leak points. Use the soap of the water solution spray with the air with its blessed lift the system when found with the leaks must be repaired. Taken out service and repairs. Frequency is monthly. Inspection of the code with the marking of the pitting of the repairing code and deterioration replaceable label of fading and they are difficult to read. And that frequency is semi-annually. Liquid petroleum vapor lines. Inspect the vapor leak. The leakings occurring with the odorizing agent within the gas should be detectable. Soap water solution with the spray air with the suspected leak system. They are found leaks must be taken out service and repaired required monthly. Inspect the coding is required with the painting of the coding of the deterioration, placing labels, fading, and the difficult to read frequency semi-annually. Your liquid petroleum gas vapors. Inspect the vapors leak. The leak occurring in the odorizing agent of the gas should be detectable, and soap of the water solution, soap of the air of the suspected leak system of the found of the leaks must be taken out of the service and repaired monthly. Manufacturer maintenance schedule. The recommendation provided the leakage from the liquid petroleum gas vapors must be followed as frequently as required. Petroleum gas regulators. Inspection of petroleum gas regulators leaks. If the leaks occur with the odorizing agent of the gas should be detectable. Soap of the water solution spray on the air with suspect of the leak system found within the leaks must be taken out of the service and repaired frequently and monthly. Liquid petroleum gas hose. Inspect the hose with the damage. Inspect with and if the leak is occurring odorizing gas of the detectable soap of the water solution spray air with the supposed if the leaks detected with the hose condition continuity with the remove it from service and inspect the damaged outer covering that exposes. Reinforcement of the inspector king with the flat and air soft spot with the bulge. The inspection of the coupling ensure that they have not slipped on the hose that have been damaged. That frequency is monthly. Your CNG piping. Inspect the CNG pipeline with respect to the high pressure CNG line. The equipment that must be conducted with the use of the proper personal protective equipment, including the limited safety face shield with a hard hat with the fire resistant clothing, and leaks of the occurring with the odorizing agent should be detectable using soap water solution spray with the air with respect to the leak of the system, and if found with the leak that must be taken out of the service required. Inspecting coating mark of the pipe to prepare and coat the deterioration, replacing the level of fading and becoming difficult to read semi-annually. CNG compressors will be required. Maintenance required. Include the system consult with the compressor manual with the maintenance of the required as required. CNG stored. Include with the CNG tanks of the tubes and tanks. Inspect the high pressure CNG line with the equipment must be to conduct the use of the proper personal protective equipment, including but not limited to safety glasses, face shield with hard hat, face resistant clothing, and leaks of the occurring the odorizing agent of the gas should be detectable, and this is daily. Using soap or water solution spraying on suspected leak systems found when the leaks must be taken out of the service and repaired. Alright, you inspect the coating of the marking storage tank with the tank with the repair of the coating deterioration, replace with the label that become difficult to read through that frequency is semi-annually. Check the operation, calibration, safety review, valve the tube of the tanks every 3 to 2 years. CNG dispensers, within CNG with the layer with the manufacturer consult with the maintenance manual was supplied with the system. The manufacturer maintenance is required with the CNG dispenser frequency is required. CNG dispenser hose with the inspect with the hose, the damage line with the cracks, and if the leaks occur with the damage, odorizing agent with the gap should be detectable, suitable water solution spray on the suspected leak. If the leak is detected with the hose, discontinue use the hose to remove it from the service. That frequency is monthly. It should check test of the leak with the following manufacturer recommendation frequency procedures as required. Hydrazine and charging units. Hydrazine charging unit system, self-contained factory system referred to manufacturer maintenance manual provided within the system required periodic maintenance as required, and fuel contamination area. Fuel truck contamination area. Remove the debris around the security fence. Inspect fence ground points and ensure the connection are not loosened for the damage that is monthly. Inspect parking area, the crack of the concrete pavement, cover the remove of the vegetation. Have the established roof of the build up the dirt of the established area over the crack with the thorough clean with the self seal crack with the fuel resistant as in frequency quarterly. Your fuel truck contamination area, the secondary contamination system degrade with collecting the debris with the clogged drain inlets, prevent drain valve of the ceiling with a proper test for the drain valve leakage through the valve. Verify the continue with the vehicle ground system connection with the connection. Suspect the loop of the perform further testing in some location with must conduct cost effective relief of the suspected connections of the performing diagnostic test and that was annually. Inspect pavement marking with the vehicle moving in line with the wear with the fading of the repair fade and worn and movement pavement manually. Inspect security fence for the wear with the rust. Inspect barbed wire and ensure that adequate secured outriggers repair loose fencing components of the coating as the air shut off with the rust, and that was annually. And your fuel truck contaminate areas refer to section 918 lighting for the inspection maintenance requirements of the air the lighting and frequency is required. Alright, your remote spill contamination. Inspect with the remote contamination base with concrete contaminant the paving wall of the curbs. The remove of the vegetation must be established to remove the build up of the dirt, the of the under the crack with the early clean crack with the water spray with the air jet with the small seal crack with fuel resistant as quarterly. And if the equipment inspect spill contamination, some pump for the proper operation. Remote spill contamination. Secondary contamination system degrade with collective debris, clean cloth with drain inlets, prevent drain valve from sealing properly with test drain valve for leakage through the valve, and that's annually. Pump house filter buildings. Inspect the floor with the contaminant curbs of the crack with early clean club, crack with the water spray with the air jet, seal the crack with the fuel real resistance annually. Refer to UFC 311004 roof maintenance repair with the inspection maintenance with the requirements of pump house and filter building roof systems as required. Canopy section 1122. Inspect the maintenance of the canopy according to the UFC 311004 roof maintenance repair as required. Emergency eye wash showers. Says operation emergency eye wash shower with pushing the activation handle to ensure the water is not brown in color due to the rusting of piping of the dirt seeping into the hole of the buried pipe of the system. The tempered water, but the temperature of the water is being lit up alive with the emergency eye wash shower between 60 to 100 degrees for a system within the horn strobe light. With ensure the horn strobe light is activated when the activation lever on the emergency eye shower is pushed for the system interface installation with the fire emergency system. Pre-coordinated performance testing of some of the installation emergency eye wash shower, the EFSO, are tied in the fire alarm system, and that is weekly. Inspect the portable package system shower, the eye wash station, proper operation. Check the fluid level, the tap of the water is issued. The fluid maybe must be replaced with the monthly liquid frequent intervals fluid with the chain. The recommended with the manufacturer acceptable with a solution and water additive is used. Ensure packet eye wash within the listed expiration date tag with the label must be attached to the unit adjacent, indicating the flow of the change schedule. Frequency is monthly. Inspect with the exterior coating permanently install the units and repair damaged coating quarterly for system tempered water system. Then inspect the component of the water heater with the correct operation temperature control. Ensure the safety valve on the hot water heater tank is not leaking frequency as manually. Inspect the sign labeled with the emergency eye wash shower. The replace the missing label. The sign that has been loose. Signs that are faded must be replaced with annually. Ventilation hoods. Inspect the operation door. Ensure the close and open smoothly. Quarterly. Inspect the lighting inside of the hood to make sure that they are operating properly. Replace the light bulb that is not working longer working semi-annually. Ventilation hoods verify that the electrical lumen are properly classified in accordance with the National Fire Protection Association's National Electric Code. Inspect ventilation system with the time of despair with the air leakage. Ensure the operational pulling of the air through the hood. The inspecting ensure the label lab hood air with the measuring device, ensuring the proper air flowing in the permanently attached to the working proper ventilation hood must be inspected with the certified in accordance with the certified inspection in accordance with the OSHA Title 29 CFR 1910 1450 with the occupational exposure hazards chemical laboratories ANSI AIH8 annually laboratory ventilation Z95. Verify the negative pressure in the presence of the through ventilation hood with the exhaust annually oil water separators. Oil water separator for the buildup of the collected petroleum fuel oil. Remove the properly to dispose of the accumulated petroleum fuel oil and quarterly needed base of the precipitation events. Oil water separator. Clean and inspect the interior oil water separator. Ensure that all the divider plates and the screen with a good working order. Replace the repair damaged components frequently annually or more than frequently based on local environmental conditions. Crane and hoist. Inspect the crane of the hoist. Smooth operation crane and hoist equipped with electronic control. Check with the power supply operation control cords of the nicks and damaged crane. Separate the technician must be correct with the binding and prevent smooth operation. Repair damage of the power cords frequencies before each use. Apply lubrication grease of the required periodic greasing annually. Military service spec hose the host nations local regulation that requiring cranes to hoist to be certified operation. Follow more stringent military service specific host nation state local regulations annually. Are your fuel facility temporary deactivation or closure? Deactivation fuel tanks. Inspect water anti-corrosion level tank level to drop of the investigate potential leak point. Starts with the blind fans. Repair leak for the detected refill of the appropriate level quarterly. Check the exterior coating label to repair peeling coatings and other rust area with the replace the repair labels which have become faded or difficult to read quarterly. Inspect catalytic protection system proper operation annually. Deactivated pipelines. Okay, inspect the pressure with the nitrogen change they apply with the petroleum the fuel pipeline with the pressure change of the pressure with the chart with the head strap investigation. Repair leak point with the once leak pay and points and repair to recharge with the nitrogen quarterly. Check the exterior coating label to peeling coating with the rusting with the air with the replace for the repairing labels which have become faded and difficult to read quarterly. Inspect catalytic protection system and proper operation annually. Deactivated pumps. Manually rotate the pump thoroughly. Several rotations ensure that the pump turns freely. Quarterly. Check the exterior coating to repair the peel coating of the rusting in the area. The replace the repair labels with which have become faded and difficult to remove. Remove the insulation and flanges. Recoat the interior pump with light with the corrosion and inhibiting oil annually. And miscellaneous deactivated components section through all 5. The blinding flange are tight. Inspect exterior coating label to repair peeling coatings and other rusting areas. Replace the repair labels which have become faded and difficult to read annually. Note: following manufacturer recommendation published in operation maintenance manuals for items equivalent to not discussed in this documentation.